Welcome back to 2020. Today our hosts are DJ Darby, Micayla, Drey, and Chris Brown. We also have a special guest, Miss Piper.
Woo!
So Miss Piper, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah. So we just have a few questions for you about energy and stuff. So my first question is, what is nuclear energy?
Well, before you can start with any forms of energy, you have to start with renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Renewable energy is any energy that can be replenished very quickly. So you're going to think about anything that has to do with biomass. You're going to be thinking about anything that has to do with wind, water resources, are all renewable resources. Those are the resources that are a part of a specific cycle, whether it be in an abiotic form or whether it is in a biotic form. So nuclear energy is a renewable resource in the sense that you're going to have the breakdown of an atom or either a fusing of an atom. So you have a fission and you have fusion. Fusion is probably the most effective nuclear energy, which we can't really access, but then you're going to have the fission, which is going to be the breakdown of an atom into smaller atoms. You're going to get a chain reaction, and you're able to extract energy that will cover a massive area.
Okay. So, how can nuclear energy affect the environment?
So, well, one is going to be the release of radiation. And so when you talk about the release of radiation, we know that radiation is often associated with heat. And so that heat, while we already have natural global warming, which is healthy, we want to maintain a certain degrees, which is like 20 degrees Celsius on Earth's surface to keep the Earth warm. But whenever you have the emission of radiation, you're going to increase that heat, which is also going to induce climate change, which can also affect various species across the planet. So you want to be careful about the emission of radiation.
What are some better alternatives we can use instead of fossil fuels?
Well, as you know, fossil fuels is not a renewable resource. They're not easily replenishable, so it's non-renewable, as we mentioned before. And so you want to think about using wind. You want to think about using water, mostly through dams, which leads into one of the other questions I think that you may have around the hydraulic energy. So you want to access those resources that are renewable. So when we talk about things that can be replaced easily and fairly quickly, that's what you want to depend on for energy. Whereas fossil fuels, once they're used, they're all used up. You can't go back to that as a resource again.
Okay, my question is, Ms. Piper, what is renewable energy?
Renewable energy is any energy that can be replaced fairly quickly. An example would be anything in the biosphere. So when you talk about tropical rainforests, they have a very huge biomass and they can replenish those resources fairly quickly. So anything that can be renewed over time and we can access them in a very quick manner. So we want to be able to get to them quick, and we want to be able to see them get back to them or cycle back around fairly quickly.
All right, what is hydraulic power?
Hydraulic power is any power or energy that is extracted from the water cycle. And in particular, when we're talking about hydraulic energy, we're talking about that energy mostly associated with dams. And what happens is that potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. As we know, potential energy is energy that doesn't have any motion, but then we move into kinetic energy, which is energy actually in motion, and that energy is converted into mechanical energy. And once that mechanical energy, as it moves through a generator, is converted into electrical energy. And so we can extract that and use it in that way. That's just one of the forms. But it's usually any energy that is extracted from the water cycle.
Okay, so in what ways do you think renewable energy affects our lives?
One of the ways that renewable energy will affect our lives is Earth's sustainability. When we talk about sustaining Earth's resources, we heavily rely on those things that are renewable. So, as I mentioned before, anytime you have a biodiverse area, anytime you have species or various species that are vibrant, that are viable, that are surviving, you're going to have renewable resources, and it's very much closely related to Earth's sustainability and the sustainability of Earth's resources.
Well, thank you, Ms. Parker, for being with us today. That's all for 2020. Talk to you later.
Thank you.